Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Motley Pro Podcast, episode 8. Here we go. I want to let everyone know that you can now find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, the YouTube, www.youtube.com.
Never heard of
Comment, loser friends. Sam's going to take away with the rest of the...
Apple Podcasts and Google Play Music Podcast.
Wow. Google Play. Google Play's high-end stuff. Like, not many people are on that.
No,
Especially amateurs.
It's whoever doesn't watch their shit on Spotify or SoundCloud.
Would you say we're no longer amateur podcasters?
Oh, we're definitely
Yeah, we fucking suck.
I would be
Jesus
surprised
Christ.
if we ever leave these
I don't think we are.
I think we're fucked forever.
Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, man.
And
comment.
Yeah, all our boys out there.
Comment about your favorite moments on the podcast.
Yeah.
If any.
If any, yeah. You might not have one.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Our boys.
Like, subscribe,
they gotta,
comment. There
they
we
got to
go.
push for us,
Losers.
Yeah. Pretty important.
Yeah.
You got to feed into the algorithm,
Yeah, right.
Okay, guys, we have Halloween coming up. Okay.
Spooky.
What are your thoughts on Halloween in general? I know we're going to talk about more in our Halloween episode, but just a quick, brief thought on Halloween and what it was like for you guys as a kid. And if you like it, if you don't like it.
Halloween episode.
Well, I'm thinking about the Halloween episode again.
Why don't we leave it for the Halloween fucking episode?
All right, fine. For Halloween episode, what do you want to talk about?
Didn't you have a story? You told me you had a story in the car about something.
Gee, I don't know. We got
About
some sticky note on his window or something.
I know.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it wasn't even that. No, it was
that was
something
something else. But yeah, someone left a sticky note with their number on my windshield.
Yeah, Troy's getting hit on at the gym.
Yeah.
You have
Interesting.
to try.
He's only been there a few weeks, and he's already getting messages left on his fucking
I know.
windshield.
That's fucking-
I know.
Just a phone number. Nothing else. It was
These
just a
muscles
phone number.
just growing and growing. It's just getting crazy around here. Well, I forgot what I tell you. I did tell you a cool story or something.
There's something about
You don't even remember. Come on. It's
well,
there.
I didn't hear the story, so I
Well,
remember.
we were talking about something then and it brought it up.
That's how stories start. Shit. What were we talking about? Wasn't
Brain
it
fart?
something about we were on the way to Walmart?
Oh, I did want to hear your dreams. Last episode we talked about you have 2 recurring dreams all the time, but you never explained what the dreams were.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. So the one recurring dream I have is like if you ever played Resident Evil, it's like Resident Evil actually, where like I'm running through the forest and God damn it, Troy. I'm running through the forest and I go to this mansion and I run into the mansion. It's so bizarre, I know. I run into this fucking mansion. I don't think anybody's with me. I don't remember. But I go in the mansion. I'm looking around. There's nothing. Suddenly a T-Rex is inside the mansion.
What the fuck?
What?
I know. It gets even weirder. I'm about to get eaten by this T-Rex.
This is reoccurring.
And I start, I have this every once in a while. I start falling. And I'm falling. And I land in a chair. And then there's like this Wheel of Fortune, like wheel down there. This is bizarre, abstract shit.
I'm following.
And then some guy's like, let's spin the wheel. And he spins the wheel. And it lands on like the same thing every time, but I don't know what it is. And then I wake up. It's so bizarre.
What's the other one?
I don't actually remember the other one.
And it happens all the time?
It happens like frequently, but I just don't remember what it is. Like I wake up, I'm like, oh, it was that dream again. And then like I kind of forget about it.
Wow, that's strange.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
I
my
have
brain
weird
doesn't have any of
dreams.
those weird moments. Never have those dreams.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I know why, but we've been over that already.
Yeah, the synapses.
No, my phone too
the
much.
phone ruining
Yeah.
his REM sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you on your phone and shit and your computer like before you go to bed?
Well, so here's my catch. So I sit at my computer, but there's 2 things. I got nightlight mode on 24/7.
Oh, that's a good plan.
My glasses, when I have them on at home, they have like the lens in them cuts out blue waves, so that helps even more
We
so.
can talk about that.
And then the last like 30 or 40 minutes before I actually go to sleep, I'm not on the computer.
You're looking at life through yellow fever.
Sure. I mean, it's not super
Your
yellow.
eyes are all like fucking yellow and shit.
No, it's actually better for them. It's not as straining. So I end up going to sleep like 40 minutes after I cut off like electronics. So that was like shower after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a full time to like have my eyes like reset, rest, and then I hop in bed. You can always tell like if you're laying in bed, and for me anyways, like I can see like my eyes will adjust to the dark really fast if I haven't been on my phone or anything. If there have been times like I think earlier this week I was like on my phone right before bed for like 30 minutes. And I could tell. So I didn't have dreams. I went to bed and woke up and instantly felt like I had just gone to sleep and woken up. It was terrible. It was like
I hate that.
shit sleep.
Yeah.
And on top of that, before I went to bed, I like couldn't see in my room. So normally, like once your eyes adjust, you can like see in your room when it's dark because it's not like pitch black. But I couldn't see shit. So I was like, wow, you can definitely tell from like staring at the phone to like going to bed.
I try to keep the room as dark as possible when I sleep.
Really?
Yeah. I can't sleep with like even the slightest bit of light.
Wow. I don't mind light. I prefer like none. But a little bit I'm like totally fine with. Like if the light in the room is on, I'll eventually just fall asleep.
I can sleep with like full lights on. Doesn't even matter.
I wish I could, and I can't.
If I get that tired, maybe, but I'm not usually that tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. It just kind of happens. Doze off.
But noise, like I can sleep through a lot of noise.
Really?
Yeah.
I like consistent noise. I don't like sporadic, random noise. Like
Sam sent me a video yesterday of him turning on his fan. He was really excited.
that was hilarious. I have a fan in my room that's older than I am. So like to start it up, you like even if you just press the button on it, it won't start. So like, you have to press the button and then spin.
Oh, that's fucking
the fan
cool.
blade.
I like that.
I mean, it's okay, but
It's just I don't know. It's kind of cool.
it's
It
all
sounds
right.
cool,
It's
but
kinda
Sam's like, "Fuck this fan, dude." Every time he goes, "God
nah, it's not that
Like
bad.
how many spins are you giving it?
Usually 2 at most. Like if the first one
okay.
doesn't, the second
Right.
one, I'm like yamming it till it goes.
Right.
I'm gonna do a quick announcement for the podcast.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing
Announcements.
movie reviews. Danny and another
Oh,
friend of
right.
ours is gonna start
Yeah.
doing some high-end movie reviews. We might start with Star Wars, I believe, maybe.
I think so. All right. I think right now the schedule is that we're gonna do one of what is it called? Knives Out, which is a Ryan Johnson movie.
Okay.
Um,
Is he the one who made the last episode?
Yes.
Fuck
Yes.
me.
That's
God,
why we
I
want to
hate
watch it. We're just like gotta know if it's just like maybe we just want to know. So we're gonna watch that, and then we're also gonna do sort of like not a like our kind of response to Star Wars as it is before we see Rise of Skywalker.
that. Oh,
should be
okay.
coming out.
So like, your current state of the Star Wars.
Yeah, like how we
universe. Okay.
like say this
What your
the
thoughts are.
universe and like how we feel about it and stuff like that. And then also the Mandalorian comes out soon. We're going to be doing that. So November is going to be a lot of review stuff, and then finally probably do Star Wars as our first big film. I don't know if there's anything else coming out. I got to check, but yeah, that should be pretty exciting.
What kind of like style are you guys gonna go for? Are you doing like super edits, or are you just doing like more casual talk, like closer to a podcast style? Or what?
It'll probably be more edits. I think
They're gonna be editing this. Sam,
we're
don't worry.
we're editing. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Danny already told me. I'm like, yeah. I mean,
we're
if I'm
editing,
not
but
in it, you gotta pay me.
yeah, right, exactly.
Who's making tons of
We're
money?
going to be editing it, I guess, more than like we would do the podcast.
Yeah.
But I still want to keep it as casual as possible.
Yeah.
But
you think-
because me and him know a lot about film, so we can kind of go in more in depth about kind of certain things about it that we noticed. And
Will it be like structured? Like, will you
I wouldn't
have-
say really structured. I would say more just like I guess the review would be things that stuck out to us in the review.
Gotcha.
Whether it be like a bad script or good
Right.
cinematography or something like that.
So just like the big things.
A deep
Yeah.
dive. A deep
Yeah,
dive.
deep dive.
Not like a
Yeah.
general. I like the movie. I don't like the movie.
Right.
This
Yeah.
moment was cool. This moment was cool.
Right.
More of, okay.
So
That's
like,
cool.
but like, it won't be the same. You won't go. Okay, let's move on to this topic of the movie, and you'll do the same thing for every video.
Yeah, no, it won't be
Okay,
like that.
cool.
I don't think so. No,
Cool.
because like not every movie you need to talk about like
Right.
the
I was
cinematography
gonna say,
or
every
the script.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so
And some movies' goals are different. Like
Yes,
cinematography
exactly.
isn't always the first like priority in a movie.
Right.
Like especially like animated movies and shit.
right.
Also, a lot of big things going on in Mixer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mixer.
So Shroud over the weekend was contracted by Mixer to switch over.
Oh, that's right.
What do you think they're getting paid, boys?
I would say ballpark 50 million
50?
Wait, 50
Yes.
or yeah?
because I believe
was-
Ninja
I
got
agree.
that. Ninja got 50 million.
How do you know that?
I think I got 30.
It was I don't even know. Maybe
he's
it's
fucking making
unreliable,
up
but
shit.
no, that actually makes sense because you know why? Ninja started as a Halo player, and they're releasing Halo Infinite. They're gonna want him all over that fucking game,
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good plan.
just for promotion. Did Shroud start?
I think Shroud did play Halo. Shroud was a good Halo player.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No, he's a CS:GO player.
Ah, shit.
That's
you're
how he
right.
started.
I think he's
CS:GO?
played though.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a professional.
I'm sure he's played it, but like I know
Yeah.
Ninja was really into like the Halo
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Championship League.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm actually glad you mentioned this because I was watching the League of Legends documentary they have on Netflix. It's called
Oh, really?
League of Legends Origins. Yeah, it was pretty
I
good.
didn't know they had
Not
that.
watched that.
Yeah, I just actually watched it last night.
How was it?
It was pretty good. I mean, but like I'm not a huge League of Legends guy.
Yeah.
You guys would probably get more out of it than I would, but I still liked it a lot. What's the bizarre thing? And I think it's like not that old too. I think it's like 2018. Came out.
Oh.
What's a really bizarre thing? I just want to get your opinions on it because I think we all have the same opinion. Is like you consider like pro players. Do you consider that a sport?
Yeah, for sure.
I would too, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good talk.
There's
to
a
have.
lot of people that like still don't consider esports like a real sport. I completely disagree.
I think when it comes to a team environment, like big prize pools on the line with coaches, and it's a fixed organization almost, and I consider it a sport. Like even if people say cheerleading's not a sport, I think cheerleading is a sport.
For sure.
Yeah, if you watch like some of that high end shit where they go to those championships and like these girls are fucking so talented. I would say CS:GO stuff, sport, all video game like environments are sport. Just because you're not doing physical activity always,
Right?
it still like is mentally abusing to your mind. Like these people are training way more than athletes are, but in a different way, totally different way.
Right.
Like they're sitting in a room watching television, learning about every little detail of a game and how it's played. And there's way more to take in than there is for a sport where you're just going and putting your body out on the line.
Right.
Obviously, there's more to sports, but in hindsight, like baseball, for example, you have to know like a lot of base running kind of rules and mechanics, but you're still at the end of the day running, hitting, and fielding.
Yeah, I guess it's true, but like there's still sports out there that are not that athletic.
Yeah, there is. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like
mechanics. Mechanics is the big thing in sports.
Yeah.
Video games, there's so much to it. It's ridiculous. Like getting into a game is so hard.
Yeah.
I would argue that just about every single characteristic from esports and sports are identical.
I would agree.
In almost every single way.
Yeah.
Like, people who argue that it's not physical have no idea, like, the type of precision and muscle memory that goes into using a mouse and keyboard or using, like, certain mechanics on a controller. I feel like it's more emphasized with the keyboard and mouse because there's way more to do.
Right.
But, like, in the sense of using... People don't always understand that, like, a back and forth motion with the mouse, players are doing it perfectly. They're stopping at the exact same point on either side multiple times over and over and over and over and over again. Exactly where they wanted to.
I mean, think about the differences from like Xbox to PC and how Xbox players can't even play on a computer.
Right.
Because they can't get the mouse down. They can't get like the precision down.
Yeah, it does take time. Yeah.
Just watching that is like incredible. Think about an athlete trying to go on a computer and do anything that a pro gamer can. They can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the physical aspect, it's a different physical aspect, sure, of course. You're not running around on a field exerting yourself. You're not in any type of like amazing physical condition. But the hand-eye coordination that's going on is like absurd. It's
oh my God.
The same, if not better.
Yeah. And what's crazy is nowadays in video games, though, like it's not gaming players aren't really perceived as like heavy, overweight, and like unhealthy players anymore. Every player in the LCS is almost in shape and not like they're not obviously specimens like basketball players or football players, but they're in shape. They have to be. Their mind has to be healthy. They eat the right foods. Like they have a lot of potassium, so their hands movements are like. Right, it's a lot.
You compare everything, like starting at the top, they're both franchised, so that comes with coaches, with teams, with sponsors, with coaches, with players, with dietitians,
they live
with
together.
Managers.
They all live together.
They
Like,
have
that's
like
crazy.
team psychologists. They have sports analysts. They have like multiple analysts on each team who are breaking down all the players' gameplay. They have coaches who are organizing all of this, and then they have the players who their schedules they post online. Like it shows, it's like 4 hours in the morning is scrims. They take a big lunch break, and then they hang out for like 2 or 3 hours. They go back to scrims for like 3 more hours.
Then solo queue.
They chill, do whatever they want, eat dinner, and then the rest of the night is all theirs. Play solo queue, do whatever. Solo queue is essentially like playing by themselves,
the game, though,
streaming. You know, that's where they get extra
They're
money.
spending over 8 hours
practice.
a day playing a game.
Oh, for sure.
Easy.
Day. Yeah.
I mean, I would say most of them hit at least 12 hours a day.
Yeah, because they like the game too. Most of them do at least.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you like the game and it doesn't take a toll on your body. Like maybe mentally, but physically doesn't, and you're able to play it longer than like a regular sport, or I guess a more common sport, I'll say.
Yeah.
Then why not?
Yeah.
Like I enjoy playing League of Legends all the time, so I can.
I'm trying to get into it now. Like
I can sit there and grind for like 6, 7, 8 hours and not even. I'll be like, shit, it's already been that long.
Yeah. Yeah. Certain game modes make me just play nonstop. Specifically, Earth. But like, normally the game I don't play super often. I'm at the point where like I'd much rather prefer to watch pro play than I would like play myself, just because like I don't know, I watch it the same way I would watch regular sports.
The content has gotten like really, really good, and I think it's more exciting than regular sports because the fan base is like so into it.
Yeah,
like obviously there's a lot of people who watch sports every day. Like people won't miss a baseball game, won't miss a football game.
No, there's like a way difference in passion.
Yeah, for
sure. When it comes to esports,
exactly.
like you can just tell when you go in there.
Oh my god,
it's crazy.
Have you ever been to a sports event?
I went to well, not really, but at the conventions I've been to, I've went and watched. Like the first PAX East I went to.
Oh, they had league.
I think
they
they had
semifinals. Yeah.
Semifinals was there. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I
was for
wasn't
NALCS.
even into league at the time, but I still watched because they had an awesome giant booth there.
Yeah.
And man, it's like it gets you hype up. Like and like the nice thing is like I kind of know what's going on.
Well, because you played Dota. Yeah.
So I played Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah,
which is the baby version.
You played
but
Dota
I still
too, didn't you?
I did not like Dota at all.
Okay.
I actually like League, but and I really do like Heroes as well. But no, I didn't like Dota. But I knew what was going on, so like I can kind of participate.
I don't think I've ever talked about on the podcast my experience at Worlds.
No, you did.
Yeah, so I went to Madison Square Garden for.
I really wish I went to that.
Yeah, semifinals.
That looks like it would have been really.
That was World semifinals, not NALCS. So that's when they had.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when they had it in here. They had the finals in LA. I think at Staples.
Yeah, Staples Center.
Yeah, so I was at MSG for semifinals, and like, I've been to tons of. I was at the Phillies World Series game when they won, like the actual game they won.
Yeah.
I've been to tons of awesome sporting events, but nothing will compare to like going to that.
Right.
It's unbelievable because no one is buying a ticket to go just to hang out and not enjoy with the and not know what's going on. Because if you go to a football game, basketball game, baseball game, there's tons of people who are just there to drink beer, have a good time, just barely pay attention to the game.
Right.
That it's like every little thing, like killing a ward, the fans go crazy. It's like all the little things make it so exciting, and you get really into it. And having a group there with you, like everyone's buying like attire, merchandise for the game.
Yeah,
and it's really fun.
It's a different thing, but I would still consider it sports.
Definitely odd people that are into it, but
oh sure,
cool. You'll get a lot of odd people, but it's funny.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I remember one thing we were going to talk about, which I guess this also leads into it, is like, remember I had mentioned we were talking about something, and I mentioned that like I think there's a bizarre thing about pop culture nowadays that I feel like now that pop culture is so mainstream, and when I say pop culture, I'm referring to like movies and like generally like what you'd consider a nerd. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's so much of it is like so mainstream now that it kind of loses its like luster in a sense. Like, because I was into all this nerdy shit when I was a very little kid, the whole time. And like when I was a kid, it didn't like being a nerd was not popular in any sense.
Right.
And then it sort of picked up, and now that it's like everybody's kind of into something that not even like 10, 15 years ago you would have considered nerdy.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like it loses something. Like I feel like nerds always existed in like the underground, where like it was very like kind of like, hey, like you don't understand what we're doing here, like
admitting. I think
you know what I mean. Like
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with admitting how much time you spend playing these games.
Yeah.
Because like you think about. I'm sure, like, back when you were much, much younger, like, not a lot of people were walking around bragging that they spent 10 hours playing WoW and leveling their character.
Yeah,
right.
Whereas, like, nowadays, it's not even, like, WoW so much as just, like, games in general just mixing in with social media. Like, Fortnite, Minecraft, and...
Those are the two big ones. Call of Duty, I think, was the
Call
start.
Call of Duty as a culture in general.
That was the start, yeah.
Have just, like, mixed in with social media so hardcore that, like...
Everybody,
the most casual of players are
yes.
playing these games so that they can relate to the people who are super serious players.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's just mixing the two to the point where, like, a super serious player is just like, hey, you just play the game a lot more than I do. I play too.
Sam, like, being so good at COD when he first, like, in middle school or early high school, that's when I realized people all love the game. It was more guys in middle school and stuff, but when Sam took off those 3 days and then showed us all his stats, everyone was like, holy shit, like, he's a god.
Yeah.
And no one else would understand.
Right.
Like, the mainstream people or a lot of women wouldn't understand that. They wouldn't even care. I think I knew two people played Call of Duty as women.
Yeah, there was literally two, maybe three girls who played
it's definitely changing a lot. There's a lot more women who play video games.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool to see, especially if you see a lot of streaming. People are starting to get into it. Different. I've seen Pokemon's one big one. She's gotten big.
Yeah.
I knew a couple before.
She was in the documentary I watched.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool to see regular people getting into video games now, because you don't have to hide it anymore. It's not like, I go home and play League of Legends at night. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I never understood when I was in high school or middle school. Okay, people went home, did homework, of course, but what else do you do? Just sit down and watch Netflix all day? Like, when you don't have sports going on, what the hell do you do? Play video games.
Lots of people, I am pretty sure, just watch TV. Like,
exactly.
It's a mix of like watching TV, movies, reading, or like just doing shit around the house, like chores, playing with a dog.
And instead of doing that, I built like a community with my friends to go on every night and fucking go ham. And
yeah, but I'm even talking about like I'm not even talking about games necessarily because that does have like a pretty easy appeal. I'm talking about like when I was a kid.
Oh, like comics and shit,
like it was bizarre. Well, I shouldn't say bizarre, but like it was very uncommon to anybody would admit they played Magic or D&D.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
now
definitely
it's so
not.
popular.
D&D's still D&D's still
like, and I don't know, something about it is like I would say D&D is as popular as it's ever been. Ever.
Oh, definitely. But I'm saying people still look at D&D like Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I mean?
They don't
even
know
know
the last thing. It is like the last thing that you have.
When I heard D&D like a long time ago, I had no clue what it was. Never even saw anyone play it or anything.
Right.
I still was like, that's a weird game. Like because I had no clue.
Yeah,
it just sounds so like Dungeons and Dragons. You know, it's like the original game that kind of brought all these people together.
Yes.
So.
I used to think of that as RuneScape. Before I started playing RuneScape, I heard RuneScape and I was like, ugh, why would I ever play that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like just sounded like a nerdy
I lost
game.
one of my friends because of League of Legends. Like I had a close friend in high school and end of middle school, early high school maybe, that they were like, oh, like I don't want to waste my time with that. Like that's stupid, whatever. And then that's how I met one of my other best friends, Jack, who he was like, oh, what's that? And then we both started playing together like nightly. Then I met Peter and Sam, and we all started playing Minecraft together. So it's cool. Like you find out who real people are when you get into certain things.
I agree.
But just because you don't like something I like doesn't mean I shouldn't fucking like you as a person.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've played other games. Just not League.
Exactly.
Like,
we can sit on Discord still and not play the same game.
Yeah.
And still talk.
Yeah, right.
Just people have closed minds. So
I want to go off of something he just said about knowing like the real person. I think something really special that happens when you're online is you meet people when they're in their most comfortable spot.
Right.
They're in their
all
seat,
of
their
these
house.
people are sitting in the game seat or like whatever chair they use to play these games that they play every day. They're in their own room doing their own thing. They're like pretty much as true to themselves as they could be.
Yeah.
But you know, you also like when you're talking to these people, that's when you're like hopefully meeting the real people. There's still obviously people who put on like a facade, but like it's totally different because like think about how many trolls there are that are so willing to post because they're that comfortable in their home. They're behind the screen of the internet. It's like the same thing, but like I would see it as a more positive aspect, right?
Yeah.
So
like, well, because there's no intimidation factor. There's no person in front of you to confront you. Say you get in an argument with a person on a game. That's a real argument. That's not. That's not. Oh, I'm scared to talk to you because you're a bigger man, or or if it's a woman even. Like if you're typing to them, you have no idea who they are, or what they are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could just have a full-on conversation that's real and comfortable, and
it's
good and bad.
I don't know about you guys, but there was a cutoff point for me where like when I was going through puberty that I realized my voice wasn't too terrible to listen to. And before I had known that, I was terrified to like talk on the mic. Because like you talk to people and you're just a squeaker. And like it sucks for those people because a majority of the people they're playing with are older than them.
I was one of the squeakers who didn't give a shit. I just didn't care about my voice. I was like, all right, whatever.
But like, you know what? I don't remember giving a shit.
I like never...
You probably weren't that bad of a squeaker, though. You don't really have like a squeaker voice.
Right.
I don't even think I was that bad either, but it's more of the fact that I was self-conscious about like sounding young on online that I wouldn't even start to.
We were like,
it was immediate. Like back in the Xbox days. I mean, that was like once you were a squeaker.
Dude, Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 was bad.
Yeah, you were. But the thing is, the enemy.
I think we get the better side of it because video games were starting to build up a lot during our time, so there wasn't a lot of older people that were actually playing. Now there's a lot of 25, 20-year-olds that are playing.
Who were the teenagers when we were like barely hitting the teens.
Yeah, so now that if we hear squeakers, it's over. Like
I mean, like
it's crazy. I'll go into a Fortnite game.
I've never flamed people. I never troll.
I
know you guys have.
A handful,
like,
a handful of our friends love to just rail on like random people.
When I first started playing Fortnite, honestly, nowadays I don't just go at them for nothing.
They have to do something.
If there's a squeaker in my game, I'll actually try to make friends with them and like fuck with them a little bit, like troll. I'm not like blatantly being mean. Like they think I'm just being really, really nice to like support them, which I kind of am, but at the same time, I'm just trying to see how they'll like react.
Right.
It's kind of funny. But the only time I'll go after people is if they're just like unreasonably bad, like in a rank that they shouldn't be in. I get so pissed about that.
Right.
Or they just totally leave the game, or let the other team win on purpose.
Yeah.
It's called feeding.
I would never like baptize a younger kid with fire. Like I wouldn't like roast their ass, but like I just find it funny now as like being of an appropriate age to play mature games, and you listen to like a 13-year-old playing like an extremely M-rated game, and you're like, That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I feel like that whole scenario itself.
Dude,
is
imagine like a
pretty comical.
14-year-old in Fortnite though, just like outplaying you, and just saying like I wish they had
Yeah.
global voice chat.
Some
he could-
10-year-old.
If I was a 10-year-old like beating people our way, I'd go crazy.
They do a
Yeah.
crazy Fortnite dance on your
Yeah.
dead body, and you're
Right.
like,
Yeah.
"That's
If
not
only there was
fun.
voice chat, dude. Like H1Z1 days.
Oh,
Oh.
that's just.
Did you
pure
guys know the story
toxicity.
of Dr. Disrespect getting killed by Ben?
No.
So
No,
it was,
actually
it was
didn't
like
know
a
that.
week after Golden State lost to the Cavs when the Cavs had the 3-1 comeback.
Oh wow.
So Ben kills him in game as like the top 5 or whatever.
yeah.
And he goes, came back from a 3-1 lead, and Doc gets so mad.
Why?
It was
Is Doc a
great.
That was
Golden State
Ben?
fan?
Yeah, Doc's Golden State fan. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty
And Ben's a
funny.
Cavs fan, so
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. Okay, we're doing shorter podcasts, trying to get more videos out so that
Right.
Yeah.
easier to listen to. It's
Wait,
not
can I just say
much.
one thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, because I wanted to mention this while we're on like the gaming subject.
Yeah.
BlizzCon is coming up this weekend. Overwatch 2, Diablo 4 is probably getting announced.
Okay.
Overwatch Chapter 2, nobody really knows yet.
Is
It's gonna be, like,
China's executives gonna be there?
Probably. But the one thing I did want to mention this is like super fucked up and nobody's been talking about it. So they at BlizzCon they host like the world finals for all their games, and WoW I think it's retail and classic has one, and so I know I think League does this and I know Dota does this where like players can buy certain like shit in the game and then that contributes to a pool.
Oh, they don't do that in League now.
They don't do that in League?
Dota,
Okay.
Dota,
It's
yeah.
just Dota.
So
I love it,
League is
though.
just sponsors and everything.
It's just like I think it's a $5 million prize pool every year.
Oh,
They should
Riot
change
puts
it.
up?
They
That
should
Riot
change
puts
it.
up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Dota is like huge.
Oh, I know. It's like 12 million, 18
Yeah.
million
I think it
sometimes.
was like 23. The
Yeah.
most
That's
recent.
crazy.
Because it's the skins, it's microtransactions go towards the pool,
Right.
which it should be for League. It'd be awesome, but
So
yeah.
I don't know why nobody's talking about this because to me this is really fucked up. So Blizzard, they did like a thing like that where they were gonna do hey, if you buy this like I think it was a toy in game, 25% goes to proceeds for the winnings and blah blah blah. Every year, every other world championship for WoW, they've put up $250,000. This year, because they did so well, they're actually not putting up the money.
Oh, that's kind of dumb.
So the problem is like the winnings are actually as low as they've ever been for the championship.
because they didn't put it up right
'Cause
away,
they didn't put it up
people
because
didn't
like they
support
usually
it. Yeah.
usually like the proceeds are like
It just
just
starts,
under.
yeah.
So then they add the 250, but it went over this year, so they're not adding the 250. And like if you read the website, it seems like they're going to add the 250 regardless. They didn't because the proceeds did so well.
So there's no reward.
There is a reward, but
Just
it's
not from
way
WoW.
less than what it normally is. Really,
So it's not from WoW. It's only all the rewards are from the community.
yes.
That's crazy. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I think
Yeah.
if the game's making so much money, that's why I think League should do. I mean, they put up all of it, but at the same
Right.
time, I think they should
It is
do
fucked up.
the microtransaction thing. It's a
Yeah.
really cool way to get the community involved to the world.
Yes, and I think
Make
I
them
think
feel
even
like
with
they're
League,
contributing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people would be willing to buy.
Worlds is going on right now.
$10
so, yeah.
skin or
Of course
something.
they
Yeah, if
For
everyone,
Worlds, oh yeah.
everyone, if you're not into video games or anything, and you just kind of want to see how the production is, go check out Worlds. When do they play this weekend?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday this weekend. It's the
Yeah.
end of the
It
World
should be in the
Cup.
morning. So
Oh,
yeah,
it starts 6 a.m.
yeah, it's
Rise
early,
and shine.
but it's pretty damn
I'm
cool
not
to
making the
see.
meme.
Where is it this year? Staples Center?
No, no.
I believe semis were just in Spain. I don't know if they're moving it. For
Yeah,
the
I think they
finals.
are, but
Okay.
it's really fun to watch. It's really cool how they set up everything. It seems like a real sporting event.
I think finals are in France.
Yep, I think so too.
Don't
Oh
quote me on
wow,
that.
that's cool.
Yep, no American teams left.
Nope.
I remember when they were in
Rest in
Seoul. That was awesome. When
Yeah.
they did the Olympic Stadium.
They get crazy.
Was it Seoul? No, Beijing.
Beijing, it was
Yeah.
Beijing. I think they had it in Seoul too, though. So
Yeah,
it's
oh, yeah,
Korea,
they did. They
Korea,
did
yeah.
have it in
They do
Seoul,
it. They
yeah.
do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Paris was
It's a little-
last year or something.
Yeah, League of Legends is huge.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, guys. We'll be back for the Halloween episode, so we'll see you next time.